Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sideline Theory. I am Tony. Those are my co-hosts, Jarrell and Aruni. Fellas, let's get right into it. Yesterday was Easter Sunday. Certain folks decide they didn't celebrate and they wanted to squabble. Kyle Anderson and we got Rudy Gobert. Before you answer like what actually happened, I need to know all the wrong answers. What do you think Kyle said to Rudy to get him to punch him in the chest?
Oh man, I think he said shut the F up, basically, and called him the B word. Like, I'll meet you in the back. You said what you said. You do that punch, that whack punch.
I'm a diehard Kyle Anderson fan.
What?
Jersey.
No, I was gonna say I'm a diehard Kyle Anderson fan since 24 hours ago. Just obviously, Jersey. He stands for everything that all of us NBA fans feel about Rudy Gobert, and it's finally kind of just coming to light. And yeah, Rudy's just kind of corny, and that was one of the worst trades of the year, maybe in a very, very long time, and it just got worse. So I don't really know how they salvage this coming into the play-in into next season. They gave up 5 picks for him.
Sources. They tell me Rudy Gobert in the huddle was saying, yo, Kyle, we should get some French fries afterwards for post-game meal. And Kyle said, you know, French fries aren't from France, right? And bam!
That's good.
Yo, don't ever disrespect me like that.
What would you guys do if he was in Kyle's situation?
You know what he said in the halftime, right? In the locker room, he said, I'm going to beat your ass like Izzy did Pereira. Oh, my God.
I'm going to be like, yo, give me all the fines, bro. It's like, you're not going to throw.
Really?
Like that.
It's not even worth it for Rudy Gobert. Like, for whatever reason, I just think Rudy is one of the most hated players in the league. And I think Kyle knows his whole team backs him up. Like, I'm sure all of his teammates feel the same way as Kyle, and it'll be interesting to see how Rudy bounces back from this. And I'm sure somewhere Donovan Mitchell is just laughing, just thinking like, man, like I just got out of like a crazy teammate situation. So
yo, Jarrell, you really taking that fine? I'm calling cap because they fined Cam Thomas $40K for just saying what he said.
Yeah. I mean, unless, we go back to the locker room and then do like fight there, but something's going to give. You're going to get some hands.
You ain't risking $40K, bro.
Yeah.
No way.
Not in front of like thousands of fans. No, but yeah, there's no way you're just going to swing like that. Like, how long is that wingspan?
Okay, let me ask you guys this. What are the chances the Timberwolves actually make the playoffs?
I mean,
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're going against the Lakers. No. I'll pick the Lakers.
So, okay, let's play it out. They lose to the Lakers.
Yeah.
So then they either got to face the Pelicans or OKC.
They just barely got by the Pelicans, and the OKC, like the Thunder, they play like they got nothing to lose. So either way, like the morale is too low for the Wolves. They're not really built for this. I mean, they have a great vet in Mike Conley, but the talent, I don't know. Anthony Edwards would have to just go off. I feel bad for him. Like he's just in a terrible situation, and yeah, they got fleeced.
Their best defender just broke his hand, so it's going to be tough for them. But yeah, Brandon Ingram has been on a tear as of late as well, so I'll pick the Pelicans in that series.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So we can actually pivot to the NBA playoffs now. Who do you think is going to win the play-ins and then actually make the playoffs?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let's break down the matchups. It's Lakers, Timberwolves. It's Pelicans, OKC, Heat, Hawks, and who we got?
Bulls and Toronto.
Yep, we can start off with Lakers and Minnesota right now since we touched on that a little bit.
I feel like it's unanimous, right? We all going to say the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So let's skip past that, and then let's do OKC versus Pelicans.
Like who's guarding Shea?
Who's guarding Brandon Ingram?
Oh man,
I'll go with the Pelicans though. I just think they have that experience. They took the Suns to how many games last year? I'm still waiting for Zion to return. I think that's what's hurting them the most right now. But they have that experience. Trey Murphy's pretty good.
My bold prediction is OKC makes the playoffs. Ooh.
Okay.
You know what? Like, it's crazy, but I actually really like the Thunder and what they got going on. Based on Shea's bag this year, I don't think anybody on the Pelicans can really guard him like that. Ingram, I feel like team defense, you could probably do something to stop him. So,
but they do have Herb Jones.
That's true.
You could use
that's
that
true
on Shea.
Yeah, but Shea's so good at getting people in foul trouble, though.
I'm kind of like the best player in the series. Like that team wins, and I feel like Shea is better than Ingram. That might be a hot take. That might not be, but I think the Thunder, young guys playing with nothing to lose, they could steal a game, and that's kind of like the beauty of the play-in, like single elimination. I feel like the Thunder can run with it.
Since you picked the Pelicans, then it will be the Pelicans versus the Timberwolves. Who do you have in that?
The Pelicans. I'm gonna keep going back to that experience. The Timberwolves is not ready. There's just too much going on between like the chemistry. I think is shot.
Okay, and then Aruni, OKC versus Timberwolves. Who do you have?
I got OKC.
All right, so that was what I'm saying. We both got the bold predictions.
Hey man,
OKC making the
Shea is
playoffs.
gonna like shine in the limelight, and I think like people will recognize that he's like a bona fide star. It's becoming more crazy that like the Clippers just traded him for Paul George, who's not even in the playoffs this year. So that's just gonna be like an underrated storyline that Shea is killing.
The Clippers had to make that trade.
Oh yeah.
Plus they
That
plus
trade
they-
happens 10 out of 10 times, but what they paid for Paul George is kind of crazy.
Okay, so then let's move on to the East. You got the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks.
I'll send the Heat. I'll pick the Heat. Shout out to
I don't know, man. Yo, you
05. But
ain't got no bass in your voice when you answered.
Trey, he had a rough season, I would say. And
Yeah.
they do have that experience. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals before.
Fool's gold.
That is true. The Johnson is pretty good. John Collins. I don't know how Kyle Lowry is gonna do. But I'm not going against Jimmy in this.
Man, you banking on Kyle Lowry?
No,
We don't even
I
need
don't
Kyle
know how
Lowry.
he's gonna do, but I'll go with Jimmy in that series. So.
Then you have Toronto Raptors versus the Bulls.
Yeah, this can go either way, but I'm gonna pick the Raptors.
And if the Raptors win, they play the Hawks. The Raptors will definitely beat the Hawks. And we'll have a Heat Raptors 7-8, in my opinion. I think the Bulls are, I don't even know why they're 10th. They're not even really a great squad.
Well, we'll see what happens. I got the Bulls beating the Raptors and then the Hawks beating the Bulls, which means the Heat and the Atlanta Hawks will make the playoffs for me.